Unlocking your extraordinary life. It's not about luck, it's about frequency. Have you ever considered that everything you crave already exists, just on a different vibrational frequency? Sounds crazy, right? But the impossible only seems unattainable until someone makes it happen. What if I told you that the life you've always dreamed of is just a single, pivotal decision away? Unbelievable, I get it. But listen with an open heart. What you're about to hear could completely reshape your journey. Think back to your childhood. You may not remember precisely, but you were born free. Nobody told you otherwise, but it's undeniable. You had an unburdened mind, a vivid imagination, a fearless spirit, ready to explore, stumble, and grow. You were a natural adventurer, pure audacity. Then, they started telling you to stop, to be careful, to not dream too big, to not meddle in things you didn't understand. Gradually you adapted, you conformed, you limited yourself. What was inherent within you slowly dwindled. You began living by rules you didn't even create. Rules that whispered life is hard, money is scarce, and only the privileged succeed. Worse, these ideas became your beliefs, and you didn't even notice. I see this constantly. Brilliant people with immense potential living far below their capabilities because they believe they can't change. But let me tell you something that changed my life. All that was conditioned into you, and what's conditioned can be reconditioned. You possess vast reservoirs of untapped potential. You may not know it now, but you are capable of extraordinary things. Past failures don't define you. Neither do your parents' opinions, your teachers' pronouncements, or your peers' taunts. They don't define you. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't. A decision. A firm, conscious, emotional decision. I refuse to live a limited life anymore. When you make that decision, even without knowing how to proceed, something inside shifts. Your mind starts working for you. Your focus changes. Your actions evolve. The universe responds differently. Believe it or not, there's a frequency for everything you desire, and you only connect with it when you release the old programming. I remember it like yesterday. I was an average Joe with no prospects, dropping out of school, bouncing between dead-end jobs, washing cars, changing tires, mopping factory floors. Deep down, I knew there was more to life, but the thought of dreaming terrified me. Success seemed reserved for the special few, the wealthy, the lucky. Then, Think and Grow Rich found me. When I read those words, something clicked. It wasn't an instant transformation, but it was like waking from a long sleep. For the first time, I understood. My prison wasn't reality, it was my belief about it. I made a choice. I stopped trying to gradually change my life and decided, I'll change myself. That made all the difference. You might be thinking, but I've tried so many times. I have no support, I have no money, I fear failure. My answer, that's precisely why you need to change. The narrative you tell yourself daily is the invisible cage holding you back, a cage that exists only because you believe in it. But you can, at any moment, decide, I no longer believe this. That simple decision can be the key that unlocks everything. Science confirms it. Over 90% of our daily decisions are automatic, based on unconscious patterns. You might desire a better future, but if your programming is rooted in fear, scarcity, and doubt, you'll keep repeating the same past. Imagine this. Today, you decide to change that pattern. Start small. Repeat to yourself daily, upon waking, I am capable. My mind is powerful. I deserve an extraordinary life. Initially, your mind will resist. It will scream that it's nonsense, that it won't work. But persist, and it will begin to yield. Then, my friend, the real change begins. You'll attract new ideas, notice opportunities that were always there, and act with greater courage even without all the answers. That's how you change your life. Not by controlling everything, but by reprogramming the one constant you've always had, your mind. Now think of something. If you had everything you needed inside, courage, creativity, intelligence, the capacity to achieve, what would you do? What would be your first action? Close your eyes for a moment. See that image clearly. Feel it as if it were already real. Believe in it for 30 seconds. That image is the start of your new life. You just need to remember you were born complete, capable, and free. The world is waiting for you to remember that. Everything you want, absolutely everything, already exists, waiting for you in a place you may not yet know how to access. The correct frequency. Everything in the universe is energy, not cheap philosophy, but physics, science. Energy moves in frequencies. You are energy. Your thoughts, emotions, decisions, everything vibrates. What you desire, more money, a relationship, health, freedom, also vibrates at a specific frequency. The problem is that most people are stuck on low frequencies, frequencies of scarcity, fear, doubt, guilt, shame. They wonder why nothing changes, saying, I want to prosper, I want to grow, but then continue saying, this isn't for me, I'll never be able to. At my age, with what I earn, in this country? These are powerful statements of alignment with scarcity, blocking access to what they desire. What kind of thoughts occupy your mind most often? If 90% of your thoughts are focused on lack, doubt, and fear of the future, guess what you're attracting? This isn't superstition, it's vibrational response. Your mind emits a frequency, and the universe responds with events, circumstances, ideas, and people vibrating on the same wavelength. Here's the key most miss. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You must become a vibrational match for what you desire. How? Act, think, feel, and live as if it were already real. Even if the world says otherwise, even if your bank account is overdrawn, even if results haven't yet appeared. Most people wait to see to believe, but you must believe to see. Hold the image of what you desire in your mind with such force, such conviction, that it begins to materialize. This isn't about delusion, it's about taking command of your frequency. I learned this firsthand. When I decided to start my cleaning business, I had no money, no training, no contacts, but I had a firm decision, a clear image, and a faith so intense it was as if it were already done. In that first year, that business earned me over $100,000. I didn't know how it would happen, but my mind was completely attuned to the idea of success, and life responded. Have you noticed how when you feel good, energized, confident, everything seems to flow better? You meet the right people, new ideas emerge, you make quicker decisions. This isn't coincidence, it's vibrational alignment. Studies show that when you visualize a goal with emotional clarity and repeat that image frequently, your brain doesn't distinguish the visualization from reality. Your body responds as if you were already living it. Your electromagnetic field changes. Your physiology changes. You literally begin to become the person living that reality. What keeps you from this life isn't a lack of talent, luck, or resources. It's the wrong frequency. Are you focused on the absence or presence of what you desire? Do you spend more time complaining or thanking? Do you talk more about problems or solutions? Be honest. These answers reveal what you're aligned with. Change your frequency and everything changes. You don't need to change the world. You don't need to wait for the government, the economy, or someone else to save you. You just need to change what you emit, your vibration. As a consequence, you change what you attract. From today, act as if you already live the life you dream of. Walk with the posture of someone who already has what they want. Speak with confidence. Think like someone who knows everything is falling into place. Feel as if you're already there. You'll see the signs begin to emerge. Coincidences will happen. Ideas will sprout. People will appear, and then you'll realize it wasn't magic, it was alignment, because everything you want is already there. You just need to align yourself, and that starts now. The biggest trap people fall into when trying to transform their lives is this. They dream small. They set goals that barely stir their souls. Lukewarm objectives, things that don't inspire, don't challenge, don't make their hearts race. And they do it thinking they're being realistic. But realism is often just a fancy name for the fear of trying something grand. Let's be blunt. If your goal doesn't scare you a little, it's too small. Life-changing goals are the ones that make you think, my God, can I really do this? They're the ones that get you out of bed earlier, keep you up at night, and make your mind work differently. Because when you set a truly big goal, something inside expands, activating a dormant part of you, initiating a new cycle of growth. When nothing genuinely challenges you, life goes on autopilot. Days pass in inertia. You pay bills, repeat the same conversations, live the same fears. But when you commit to achieving something so huge it seems absurd, you awaken. Your mind enters a state of creative alertness. You start having new ideas, thinking like never before, because there's a stronger why pulling you forward. Most people don't understand this. They think they need more confidence, more knowledge, more stability before thinking big. A mistake. Confidence doesn't come before the goal. It's born while you move toward it. But I have a difficult life, full of bills and responsibilities, you might think. How can I think of big goals now? That's precisely why you need to think big. Without an inspiring vision of the future, life will keep pulling you to the same old places, chasing survival without ever reaching fulfillment. In studying highly successful people, I saw a pattern. They set absurdly large goals. Goals that seemed impossible at the time, but they committed, and that commitment set them apart. Walt Disney, for instance, was ridiculed for wanting to build a park where adults would rediscover childhood dreams. People called him crazy, but he believed so strongly. He spoke of it as if it were already done. He didn't see what was lacking. He saw what already existed, even if only within him. That clarity and conviction materialized everything. Never set a goal you think you can achieve. Set one you truly desire with your whole soul. It doesn't matter if you don't know how you'll get there. The how never comes before the decision. The how appears along the way when you commit to the what. I remember a man at a seminar who said, "I want to double my salary." I asked, "Double? Why so little?" He was embarrassed, but understood instantly. He was thinking too small, afraid of desiring more and failing. The irony, thinking small doesn't protect you from pain. It increases it because you remain frustrated, empty, wondering what went wrong even when doing everything right. Dreaming big requires courage, but that courage is rewarded. When you set a truly exciting goal, one that gives you butterflies, you enter a different mental state. It's as if the universe starts taking you seriously. Take some time today to write down a goal so big it causes a mix of excitement and fear. It could be a monthly income target, a project, a trip, a life change, anything big enough to make you grow. Write it in the present tense. I am the person who, I live the life where I achieve. Then read it aloud, as if it were true, as if describing your current reality. Repeat it daily for at least 30 days. The more you repeat it, the more your mind will believe. And the more it believes, the harder it will work to make it possible. As you move toward that goal, you'll realize it wasn't too big. It was just what you deserved all along. But you couldn't see it before because you were looking through the eyes of fear, limitation, and survival. Stop hiding behind safe goals. Stop settling for comfort. If you want an extraordinary life, start with an extraordinary goal. The size of your goal reveals the size of your belief, and it will never be bigger than your own vision. So dream, but dream big, and watch the world respond to the height of your courage. You don't need to know how. You just need to want, to truly want. The only prerequisite isn't your education, bank account, social circle, or resources. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Not can I? Do I deserve it? Will it work? The question is direct and it changes everything. Do you truly want this? People ask, how do I do it? As if the map were more important than the desire to set off. The secret isn't in the path. It's in the decision. The moment you say, this is it, I'm going to do it. That instant changes the frequency of your thoughts, your emotional state, and your perception. Your brain operates differently, activating areas related to creativity, courage, and action. It moves even without knowing all the details because the universe doesn't respond to doubt, it responds to conviction. This isn't just theory, it's real life. I've seen it happen not once but many times. One in particular changed everything. When I lost part of my thumb in a circular saw accident, it devastated me, not because of the physical pain, but because it felt like life had said, it's over. I felt broken, directionless, hopeless. It felt like the final stamp on a trajectory of failure. What did I do? Nothing for a while. I just existed, drifting through the days like a zombie. Then, one day, something inside me grew weary of existing, as if there was no way out, of pretending everything was okay. It was in that moment of complete disillusionment that I did the only thing anyone needs to do to start over. I decided that wouldn't define me, that wouldn't be my end. I didn't know what to do or where to begin, but I said, enough. That single word turned the key. Soon after, that book found me, Think and Grow Rich, igniting a flame I didn't know I still had. I started thinking differently, seeing possibilities. When everything outside was dark, something began to brighten within. People don't realize the power of a decision. They wait for motivation, approval, ideal conditions. While they wait, time passes, life passes. You don't need anything around you to change to make a decision. You only need to be tired enough of your current situation and committed enough to the future you desire. When that combination happens, it doesn't matter if you have money, contacts, degrees, or support. You find a way because you're determined to. The universe moves when you commit. Things begin to happen. People cross your path. Opportunities arise. Not because you sat waiting, but because you began vibrating at a different frequency, acting like someone who believes, someone who wants. And that's when everything changes. Some people seem to have everything, resources, time, structure, yet remain paralyzed. Others have nothing and build empires. The difference isn't in what they have, it's in how much they truly want, the intensity of desire. True desire is unsettling. It keeps you awake, pushes you forward even when you're afraid. Fear may linger, but it doesn't need to direct your life. It only directs when you yield, hesitate, wait to understand everything before beginning. You won't understand everything now, and that's okay. You just need to understand that the first step is wanting with force, looking at your life and saying, I want more, and I'm going to make it happen. Neuroscience shows that simply declaring an intention with conviction alters brain activity. Your brain starts searching for solutions, connections, and patterns previously invisible because it now has a mission, a direction. The mind needs clarity, focus, commitment. Forget the can I question. The real question is, do you really want this deep down in your soul? Even if it feels impossible, even without support, even when fear screams the loudest? If the answer is a resounding yes, you've already taken the biggest step. The path will unfold, solutions will appear, resources will materialize. The universe responds to bold moves and genuine commitment. That's the boldest move of all. We're taught to distrust our gut, to ignore intuition, to overthink, to be logical. Emotion is weakness. Dreams are a waste of time. Imagination is childish. The result? a generation of emotionally detached adults, overthinking and underfeeling, analyzing everything but living so little. Your rational mind isn't creative, it works with what it knows, analyzing, comparing, judging, seeking consistency with past experiences. If your past was filled with limitations, guess what? Your mind will project more of the same. You need to relearn trust and feeling. Inside you is a knowing. It understands what ignites you, what moves you, what makes your heart race. But you've silenced that voice, ignored it so long it whispers while fear roars. Listen to that inner voice. It holds the true creative power. You don't create with cold logic. You create with emotion, with intense vibration. Emotion is the awareness of your own vibration. I realize the key isn't how much you think about a desire, but how deeply you feel it's already real. Feeling is the trigger for manifestation. I learned this firsthand. Starting my business, I had nothing. No office, team, marketing, or money. But I had a vivid, detailed mental picture of my life. And more importantly, I felt it as if it were already happening. Every day before starting work, I'd sit, close my eyes, and feel it. I felt the prosperity of waking up, the satisfaction of client conversations, the lightness, gratitude, and security of walking down the street. I emotionally lived it, despite the opposite reality, and things started to shift. When you feel what you desire, you align with its frequency, act with more confidence, make better choices, and reject anything misaligned with your new identity. Gradually, feeling becomes reality. Harvard Medical School research shows people who vividly visualize a goal and feel its emotional rewards have over 40% better odds of achieving it. The brain activates, cells organize, and the body functions as if it already lives that reality. But you have to stop running from your feelings. Reconnect. Honestly ask, what truly excites me? What would I do daily, even unpaid? What thrills me just to imagine? That's your direction. Many millionaires feel empty. They achieved soulless goals, doing what the world expected, not what their heart desired. They chase more, trying to fill a bottomless void. Your intuition isn't random. It's your soul's compass. It doesn't shout or force, but it knows. When you listen guided by desire's vibration, not fear's logic, everything clicks. For 5 days, spend 10 minutes daily simply feeling the life you desire. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Imagine it's already real. How do you walk, smile, breathe, express gratitude, feel it intensely? Notice how your day changes, how people react, how ideas emerge, how fear weakens. This is the real secret. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're here to feel deeply and create from that feeling. Your emotion is your most powerful tool. Use it now, fully. The only thing between you and your desired life isn't time, money, or luck. It's your willingness to feel, decide, and act as if it's already real. When you grasp that, everything changes. You stop chasing and start attracting. That's the crux of it all. If this resonates, fantastic. You've taken another step toward your true self. Now, keep going. The next video is on screen. Another step on your transformational journey. Watch carefully. You'll level up, becoming 1% better. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.